So, hello everybody. Hello Nicole. This is Pat ECKERT for the Fine Liquids community, and today is our very first live stream in 2023, and I like to welcome everybody. Today is a very sad day for Germany. We woke up this morning with a state of emergency we had in Hamburg, a bloodbath, and I just want to say to everybody in the north of Germany, our thoughts and our hearts are with you. But at the end today, we had a hostage taking in Karlsruhe also. So this is a fucking day for Germany, I think. But we had, it's over and nobody died. There was no blood in Karlsruhe. So, but you know, when you live in that country, that's tricky because all of your thoughts are in that, you know.
Mm.
So, but that's how it is. Okay, boom. This is the Fine Liquids community, and today we are talking about the future of water. And you know, if you joined our last community live streams, you know, we are the people always drinking fine waters and stuff like that, talking about different water bottles and brands. But you know, I think it's time to go out of the box, thinking outside the box. And the reason is because what I see is that more and more people are getting aware of issues that we have with water, troubles that we have with water. And so we thought, why not talking about that? It's really interesting because there are so many people which are even not aware of that. You know, especially in Germany, you know, there is a tap and you open it and water comes out. All is good. So, but nobody's talking about the future. And is this normal for the future? Because we grew up with this normality of tap water. It's always there. You can take a shower for 15 minutes. You can take a bath for each day if you want to. But is that normal? I don't know. And this is the reason why we want to talk about that. And today in our live stream, we do have Mr. Justin Takashi Glasscock from Los Angeles, and I'm very happy that you are here. Hello, Justin.
Hey everyone, from LA, Justin Takashi Glasscock, water sommelier. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, fine. I'm really excited that you are here tonight. And hello, Mike, just my neighbor. He's just a few kilometers away from me. Hello, Mike, water sommelier and beer sommelier from Meckersheim, Mönchzell. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm feeling, or I felt sick the last 2 weeks, and tomorrow I will start to work again. Everything is okay. My wife is okay. My children is okay, and she's sleeping now. And yes, I'm fine again, and I'm happy to see you all.
Yeah. Nice to hear that you are no longer sick. And yeah, this is a great good to have health, you know. Hello, Mark, Bronze to the Netherlands. How are you?
Hi, yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me again. So, yeah, happy to join tonight. Looking forward to the interesting talks. And, it's a very broad subject, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thanks.
It's a pleasure. Yeah. Hey, Millen. I'm really excited to see you here in the live stream. So it was not really sure if you can join tonight or not. So yeah, you're here, and that's really good. Mr. Milan Patel, water technologist, water consultant, and water sommelier from London, the UK. How are you?
Oh, you muted.
Milan, I don't hear you. What's wrong with your audio?
Uh-oh, he's muted.
Are you muted?
Sorry.
Oh, he's back again.
It's It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Hello all. Let me recap what I said.
Yeah, please.
It's nice to see you all again. To our audience out there, everyone that's tuned in, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, it's good to see you all. We're going to be discussing some pretty cool subjects today. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. And when you say let's do it, you know, when I get into the category of fine water, it was just for me a journey to explore sources all across Europe, and then I found out there are so many more, and then I stepped into this world of fine water. And when you are going this journey, so you cannot close your eyes in front of the in front of how environment is developing in this time. So everybody's talking about climate change, but especially here in Germany, I think most of the people are not aware that sources are getting smaller and smaller or expire. So this is a fact nobody's talking about, or just a few people. Yeah? So when people are talking about climate change, they are talking about so many other aspects, but not about how water and the circle of water is depending on that. And this was one of the main reasons why I thought talk about it, because it's all about awareness, all about being conscious about how things are going. And when you're looking into the media, you see over Europe some special things. France did not have rain over the last 100 days. So this is the driest winter in France for decades. So the dryness which they have right now will persist. So this will influence everything what is happening this year. People are still prohibited to use water for maybe their garden right now in winter. So, and I'm not talking about that to make people afraid. I'm talking about that to give you the awareness. And same problems we do have in the Alp region, when you're looking to Austria, when you're looking to Switzerland. The glaciers are going back, getting smaller and smaller. But what does that mean? All in all, nobody's really talking about that. It's just a few people. So, Mike, what do you think? What do you see all across Germany? Are people aware of what is happening to the water cycle at all?
No, I don't think so, that the people in Germany think about water. So everything is clear. You can open your tap at home. Water is coming out. Everybody says tap water is the best water in the world. It's the most controlled thing for food and so on, but it's not right. Yeah. So in Germany, you can use 96 chemical things to clear the water, the groundwater for doing drinking water at home, tap water, and it's only clear till your house. When the water is coming into your house, so it's your own thing. If you have the right things at home, without now I need your help. Blei, Zinkrohre, Nickelrohre, da ganze Anschluss drauf.
It's all about very old infrastructure in the environment you got at home. So this could be not really good for the water which comes out of the tap. So yeah. And in regards to this point, Millen, when we met the people from Aquaporin in Copenhagen, they told us about PFAS. And this is another thing. So we have chemicals which are getting more and more into the ground and touching the groundwater. And when it comes back into the circle, this is one of the chemicals we don't get out of the environment. It's here, and it's not good for the health.
You also see it with Selters or Gerolsteiner. That was the main problem the last years. So they were talking about nitrit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a great thing in the public that the water is not good enough because they have too high minerals inside from the wrong minerals.
Yeah. Yeah. So and when you are this is just what is happening inside the waters which are bottled. So or the water which is coming per tap in your house. But when you are opening the perspective, you also see that there are everywhere issues all across the planet. If you look at the Arctic, if you look at the oceans. So, Millen, what do you think as a water technologist? Which are the real big challenges that we have to face? And you are still connected to Paul O'Callaghan from Blue Tech. And I know this is a guy or this is a company which are really looking for solutions. And so most of the people are not aware of the problems, but these guys are aware that we have to use good solutions for the future.
Yeah, so I think we've definitely solved water that won't make you sick today or tomorrow. Okay, that's a given. In most areas of the world, you may have that. There are areas of the world where you don't, but with the treatment methods that we have, you know, tomorrow if we drink from our taps, especially where we live in the world, you're not going to get sick. Would you agree? Yeah. But I think the challenge is now identifying the potential of waterborne microorganisms or pollution that we create that may make us sick in 5, 10, 15 years. And what are these challenges in regards to water technology, compliance, law, policy making? What are the levels? What's an upper limit? What's a lower limit for PFAS? You know, so there are going to be definitely some challenges, and there's a lot of water technologies out there, but is it scalable? Will governments actually actively invest in this? And, you know, they set targets. You know, we've got the UN next week, what, in 50 years? Who's pushing the water technologies? Because there's so many startup water technology companies, but it's all about bringing that to market, financing it, and the policies around it. So if governments are not being strict with their upper and lower limits of these new chemicals that we're finding, and not really bringing something to the table of, okay, we know it's a problem, it just continues. So I think more investment is required. Personally, I think more education from a school age in regards to all of the elements that make the water industry up, or activism, policymakers, lawyers, technologists, engineers, you name it. I think a good example would be how they look at water in Israel in regards to that sort of drinking water culture, looking after water, making it a positive country, which is in a very arid region of the world. So there's a lot more behind sort of their access to water, but I think it needs to start with education, because not to my knowledge that there is a school that actually actively teaches water conservation in a big way. They may touch on the subject, or kids may be shown something very simple, but where you are including water into maths, into science, into the English, you know, the history of everything, I think it will create more cohesion with education and understanding of the importance. So the next generation that do come through, they get it. It's like in their DNA from a young age. So yeah.
Yes, real interesting words you just said.
Yeah.
When I look at another topic, this is just the last thing I really want to add here, is that we are losing water. I just said we're losing our glaciers in the Alps, and with this losing, our rivers are getting down, so the ships cannot really do their job. And we can't keep the water. So today it's raining without ending, non-stop. And what you can see is that the water is just flowing away. It goes to the rivers and then it goes to the ocean. And our grounds are too dry. They cannot keep the water because there is no snow. Because when snow is there and it's melting over months till April, yes, it gets slowly into the ground. But there is no snow. And without snow, the ground is still too dry for all over the months. And so it cannot keep the water. And so I think this is another challenge for the future for whole countries where we have to work together to keep the water for everybody and for everything for the country itself. So Mark, when I look at the Netherlands, I really like to drive through the Netherlands. There is so many green and so many water.
And it's flat.
It's flat. It's super flat.
Yeah, it's very flat.
Yeah. But there is...
It's funny that you say that. You talk about countries, but and especially you're from Germany, so you can't look at a country's perspective. I mean, you see that the rivers that go from Germany, from the Alps, go through the Netherlands, and what we see is that in the summer, yes, there are no vessels going through anymore because the water is too low, and in other periods there's too much water. So what we do now is we make floodways and stuff like that, and give more room to water. And what you see is that there's more irregularity in when you so you have to preserve it in times that you have too much, and that's something we never did. As in the Netherlands, we have a long history, of course, with water, but mainly just to get the water out of the country. And now we have this infrastructure that, and we think, oh, okay, but maybe we should give some more room to water again, and also store water so we can use it for so many things, also for energy, these kind of things, So that's very interesting. And to come back to millets, also you told about the PFAS, and what scares me is that institutions make kind of limitations, but when it doesn't suit them, they changed the limit. And that as okay, what's gonna do that to my health in like 15, 20, 30 years? That's scary,
Yeah, but I think also just in regards to the PFAS subject, just to be aware, and the audience, it's not just related to water. Water is a universal solvent. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, through clothing, through packaging around your food, etc. There's a lot of association with water, and as you're aware, water is a great solvent. It absorbs everything. So
so pharmaceuticals, we haven't touched that yet, but same thing.
It's water. It will absorb. So I think the whole PFAS discussion, really, it's also with what you purchase, and how you dispose of things as well is very important.
Yeah. when I now go over the big ocean to Los Angeles, let's do it across the universe, or maybe in the space. Let me be an astronaut in the ISS or in another spaceship. What are they doing there? They found out what osmosis filtration can do. So they recycle their urine to drink it once and once and once more again and again and again. So I found out in one of these American TV shows that Martin Reese just get in contact with this story. But this is one of the solutions they brought from space back to Earth. And now when I listen to the media for California, I heard so much about missing water supply and getting more and more flat of the seas where the water does come from. And the big opposite is Las Vegas, which has a huge amount of water that they need to work with the city at all. So Justin, what is your perspective on the future of water at all?
Yeah, so let me just add in whatever you just mentioned about California. So since last year, we've been suffering from a pretty bad, kind of drownish, and so we're in a pretty critical situation in California. But however, since the beginning of December, we've been getting a lot of rain. It's actually raining today as well. Actually, last week, you'll be surprised to hear this, but LA was snowing.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
It's crazy. And actually, it was my first time ever seeing in my life hail in Anaheim near Disneyland. So it was pretty shocking to see, hail, on or I'll say ice on my car.
And that wasn't the Disney magic, was it? That was Mother Nature.
It was. Actually, it was fun watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, too much rain definitely hurts, but yeah, I mean, it's good for us. And actually, let me talk into my subject here. This is actually this is my perspective of what might be happening. So in my perspective, future water. So as you may know, water is probably the most abundant source on Earth. But as we've been talking, there's a shortage of water. And think about as kind of global scale, it's going to affect social, political, economical impact, right? So and of course, there's a climate change and pollutions from, drought. So here's my worry is, so the water, it used to be a scarcity, but now it's to start kind of moving into commodity. So therefore, there's a lot of banks that's accepting, or it's start accepting that water as some sort of a asset now. So therefore, you starting from, I'll say, beginning of 2000s, you'll see a lot of indexes on stocks and bonds with the water related, and that's been an increasing value over time.
Yeah, I'll totally agree.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I want to bring up attention.
Yeah, on the other hand, I think this is another aspect where people are not aware of. So,
Yeah.
I think on the one hand, it's so normal, water. We are so used to it. We are made of it. And everything, as you just mentioned, Milan, is made of it or made with it, and with a huge amount of it. But on the other hand, we are not aware which problems we could face in the future if we are not if we do not react in time. So in Germany we are talking about the problems in a very small way. But nobody really is talking about solutions. So we got solar panels on our roof. Yeah, we're talking about electricity in all kinds of way. We try to lower our carbon footprint in every way, but water is outside of the discussion. And so the troubles we will see in the future are not in the public discussion. Sometimes we are talking about it, but it's not that we are thinking about, okay, there is a problem, how can we solve that? And when I saw Brave Blue World, this was the very first time when I realized that there is a problem. And they did not really talk about the problem. They talked about how could you solve that problem as a person with your own home, with your family, with your house. But they opened it for complete cities and societies. And what we just talked about is just one thing. On the other hand, we have countries just like India, which lost such big amounts of groundwater that they will face a groundwater problem in the future. Next thing is we have melting icebergs from the Arctic, which are such as big that we will have problems in the cities which are directly next to the oceans. And when it's getting critical, just like this topic, there we are talking about, but we are talking about the problems. And I really don't see where we talk about solutions. So, and this is another thing where I think, how could we change that? Not as water sommeliers, but as people which are really facing that troubles. What do you think?
I think I'd say we are changing that. It takes small increments of anything, but as water sommeliers, I would disagree with that. As water sommeliers, yeah, we do change people's mindsets, people's cultures, people's lifestyles of how they relate to water. When you break it down to the fun element, to where you're communicating about it, Pat, of course we do, 100%. Everybody's looking for the big bang, big change, the big investment, but if your mindset, if you're not educating people very simply, I think we do, 100%.
I think the main problem in Germany. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, Mike.
So I think the main problem in Germany is so you can get water everywhere. So there's no place you have to wait for water.
Yeah.
So you can go to the supermarket, you can go to the toilets, you can on the motorway, on the highway, everywhere you will get water, in your home, in the wood, also. And I think that the main problem will be when the groundwater is coming in solution with chemicals from the farmers.
Yeah.
So it needs years and years and years, 20, 30, 40 years, till the chemicals are in the groundwater. Then the source for the groundwater is dead.
Yeah.
So our groundwater here in Meckesheim is more than 200 kilometers away in the Alps from the Bodensee.
Yeah. I think, would you say then, like, one fundamental issue, right? And I don't know if it's the same in Germany, but like if you're building a new town, a new city, or adding on to an old city, because majority of our towns are very old, but would you say that you flush your toilets with, say, an Evian style quality of water?
Yeah.
For drinking water, yeah? So the way I see it is that, especially like, for example, in the UK, where the water utilities, the tap water utility companies went private, so they've been running it for 30 years. I think there's 14 different companies, and why are we still flushing the toilets with clean, wholesome drinking water?
Yep.
And you see new developments being built, new apartments being built. I work all across the city, from commercial buildings to industrial to you name it. I see it all. I was in the Canary Wharf, the financial hub, 3, 5 million, 8 million, 20 million pound apartments I'm walking into and seeing the infrastructure of the building, and they're using drinking water for flushing toilets.
But for politics, it will be a hot theme, I think so. And if you say something against the farmers, don't use pesticides and so on.
Yeah,
It's getting much more expensive in foods and so on. Yep. So they were talking about foods of biologic, or foods with Heuschrecken.
Oh, ich weiß auch nicht, was Heuschrecken heißt. Lass mal gucken. Wait.
Small things like
Grasshoppers. It's grasshoppers,
yeah.
Mike.
oh, grasshoppers, yeah.
Okay.
So that's the new thing, and no political person will discuss with farmers and with the people outside. So
Yeah,
they are here for 4 years, for 8 years, for 10 years, 12 years, and they will get their money for your rest of your life, of their lives. So why I will take this theme with farmers and with all people who have to pay more than, and so nobody's talking about.
In the end,
Yeah.
everybody's paying for it. I mean, and that's also where the solution comes in. I think looking at farming, I think organic farming is the solution. Also, if you look at groundwater and the ground, the soil at itself, I've worked in organic fruit and veg, so I know a little bit about it, and also the soil itself keeps more water. So I believe also in South Africa, organic farmers are selling their rights to use water to non-organic farmers just because they don't need that much water. So in that perspective, that's really the solution. But if you and the main thing here is costs. If you talk about costs, then people start thinking in solutions. So if you have to, the groundwater is gone, or you have to go deeper, it costs more money. So then and then in the end, people have to pay their bills and think, oh, okay, I have to pay more, and they become aware of it, and they will use water more sustainable. But the thing is now at the moment is just still so cheap, and water is still everywhere, but the problem is huge, and you don't see the problem yet because you're not confronted with it yet.
I think
Not that much.
if you
You know, the normal, you know, I mean, we're more into the subject, but you know, like the normal
you've
people.
not experienced it,
No, exactly.
So, like for example, if you went 7 days without running water from your tap and you had to walk even 1 mile there and then carry back, say, 20 liters, 30 liters back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You won't.
it
Yeah.
would
You
be a
won't be doing that
huge
anymore.
challenge.
Yeah. Exactly.
But millions of people around the world do that on a daily basis.
Yeah, the first area, or the next area in Germany without a good groundwater will be between Heidelberg and Frankfurt. That's a great area, and there's the pollution and the from farmers and chemicals inside the bottom is so high that that will be the first and the next area without clear groundwater.
Yeah.
So, and when the rivers are low, so like Mark told, when the Rhine is going to the Netherlands, so I think it's Düsseldorf who will take their groundwater from the river. So with a great Ozonanlage.
ozone treatment.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they take the water from the river, make it clear for drinking water, and give it to the people. So but when the rivers are low, it's also dead. I think so.
Yeah.
I would just have to add something from Darren McManam from Australia. He's a colleague of us. He's also water sommelier. I think he's coming from.
Tell him to join the call then. Wasn't he on the call?
Yeah, why is he not on the call?
Yeah,
he was
to join.
Yeah, he was invited. Mister.
Dial in.
Yeah, he was invited. He said he will join next time. But he wrote
join now.
he wrote something in the chat, and he said biodynamic farming is becoming very popular in Brazil. Coffee plantations, fertilizers have increased up to 300% in the last 12 months. So it seems to be working. So when you want to change something, maybe it's up to us to buy the right products, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The thing is that well, you know, I work in the food business, and so it went up with 300 to 400% fertilizers. So what you see now in South America is that people stop using fertilizers, or at least sometimes they do it, but just the minimum, the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You see that back in the fruit prices now, and everybody's thinking about the inflation, but no, like the broad public doesn't hear that it's also main one of the main factors is fertilizers. Also, there's a scarcity because at the moment, because those fertilizers also, of course, have a they bring a good yield at the moment. I mean, before you can grow organic, there's a certain period of time that you will have an organic farm that produces same amount of yield. So what you see now is lower yields, and which drives the prices up from fruit. But you don't hear that it's also about fertilizers and what it does with water and everything. So that's it's it would be better if these kind of things are also linked for more people, that they know that it's also water is also a very big important thing about this.
Yeah, totally agree.
Justin, I read some weeks ago, that Las Vegas, the water in Las Vegas is taken from rivers and from lakes hundreds kilometers away. Is that right? So Las Vegas has no own source.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, as you may know, Las Vegas is the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's kind of it's located in the desert. So yeah, so it needs to be pulled from or it's kind of dependent. So it needs to be used, other source like outside of Las Vegas in order to collect water.
Yeah. So, like, for example, I remember when I was living in LA, and this was when I was like 12. So, like 92, 93. I'm not giving away my age. But I remember back then, I remember clearly, like, coming from London, water abundant, but it was like every other day you could water your lawn. And a lot of people had green lawns. And is it true now that like the local county will say, right, if you're building a new house, you can't have green lawns. They need to be sort of drought resistant plants that will help retain water, and
the lawn should be from artificial, like plastic, the plastic stuff, right? Or not?
No, not AstroTurf, but like traditionally people have like green lawns, so that takes huge amounts of water to keep green, especially in
that's
LA.
not allowed anymore, right?
Yeah.
So
things has changed since then. So since, like I mentioned, the end of last year, or I'll say starting from last summer, we suffered on heavy droughtage. So the government really told us to cut down the usage of water, especially like for the grass by the lawn. Also, even cleaning your car, we use a lot of water too. That's
Yeah.
kind of our American thing. During on Sunday, morning, we, by our garage, we water our cars to have a nice little car cleaning. But that's also been limited as well.
Limited. So, which days can you wash your car? Monday, Thursdays, and Sundays?
I've been really, really conservative about water. So, and fortunately, it's been raining a lot. So I'm just having my, the rain do all the work.
Yeah, but Millen, you were joking about that. Last year, I saw a documentary from a real investigative journalist, which made a real brilliant movie about stuff like that. And I saw in California and some cities there is a water patrol, just a water police, and they're driving really through the streets, and it's really like that. You only can do it in a few days and not in every day. And I was really excited when I saw that, because I never thought that this could happen. But it's happening in Germany too. So we have some regions where you actually, just right now in winter, you cannot use the water for your garden.
Yeah.
This is
We
happening.
have that in London this summer. Hosepipe ban. Yeah. And then the neighbors call up the authorities. Hey, they're using
There
the
are
water.
also some areas that was not allowed to give water for garden and so on in the summer.
Yeah.
So it was too less water.
We had an article in our regional newspaper where a guy was at the cemetery and stole over 3,000 liters of water at the cemetery all over the summer, and now he's in big trouble because of that.
Oh.
Yeah, just
Wow.
I hope it was not your guy.
no. But that really happened. So the authorities said you cannot use your water for garden. Okay, so he went to the cemetery and took the water he needs.
Why not?
Wow.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah.
So it's also amazing. We are talking about water, and there are only three things: H2O, for all the water in the world, in the sky, in the clouds, in the bottom. Yep. And everybody says water is not water, but it's only three things: H2O.
Yeah. And we just talked a little bit about what there is all happening. It's just we just stepped into it, not more. But sometimes I think the real big solution for the entire planet, for humanity, could be free energy. Think about that. Think about, we all could have free energy. We do not have to pay for energy. We don't have problems with energy. If this could be, we could solve everything. We really could solve everything. Maybe this is just visionary, but we got people like Elon Musk. You can think of him whatever you want to, but there is not only one Elon Musk. There are so many Elon Musks out there, and they are unstoppable. And I really believe that more people like him will come out of the shadows and do their thing. And you can see that entrepreneurs, that engineers everywhere, yeah, but they do not have the media attention just like someone like Elon Musk has. So, and at the end, everybody's talking about how Elon Musk is behaving, but not what he's doing. And so I think if we can create more media attention for people which are looking for solutions, if we can create more media attention for all kinds of societies, from the children to the elders, to be aware of what is really happening, I think we can go a big step into a future with water which is safe and which is accessible for for societies, for people everywhere. Because at the end, this is the key. When everybody has access to water, to clean water, this is the base you need for health, and everything else is based on health. You cannot go to school without health, and you cannot work without health. You cannot plant. You cannot be a farmer without health. So, this is my vision for the future. What I see is it's scary. All in all, it's scary, but it was scary when I was a child too. So why should
I think you need to flip the scare side of water onto there is solution side.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's the mindset, because I think the media definitely pushes a lot, but then the media doesn't talk about the positives of what are happening and what individuals can do or scale, and it could be just habits.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of negativity with not a lot of solution. So to turn that around, people would see positiveness as well of people creating technologies like the Elon Musks of the world, or even taking a step back and looking at history of how water was managed, how traditional methods of filtration have been used, using the landscape to absorb and retain water, recharging aquifers in a smart way. I think they're doing a fantastic job in LA, where they take the water, treat it, and then pump it back in. Orange County do that. So I think if there was more discussion about that as well, it would give everyone a sort of a little bit of a boost that, it's not all doom and gloom about water. There are solutions there.
Yeah. I mean, it's something what Mill mentioned earlier, but I think it's all about educating.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're all taking for granted, and I think since we're all sommeliers, I think our mission is to focus on how we can educate the next generation.
I think
how we can.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's very simple. When you're talking about water, just smile and talk about it.
And so that's what we did and what we always do. And at the end, we don't talk about the issues. We talk about the pleasure we have with water. And
so just before we wrap up, like, I know we were talking about serious subjects. I've just got home and I hadn't eaten, right? So I've got a quick bottle of Pelage, room temperature, and I had Sriracha almonds. So they're just almonds with Sriracha, which almonds do take a lot of water to grow. But then I had a date. Yeah. You got to try this, right? Maybe with Pelage or something with these fine bubbles. The sweetness and the softness and the molassiness of the date with the small fine bubbles of Pelage worked really well. Like really, really, really well. I think the two textures of the gooiness, the sweetness, and the bubbles of Pelage, and that sort of nice calcium, higher magnesium taste was pretty good. Give it a go.
And there it is back with Milan. We got the pleasure back on the table. And so because the time is running out, we have to wrap it up.
We ran out of time. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining this actual very first 2023 live stream. And hopefully we will join us again soon. And I hope you had a nice time with us, and we could give you some thoughts to think about how you manage water with your family at home, or how you look at it. And so if you are interested in some special topics, just let us know. We are here. Okay, so have a nice time, and stay healthy and stay lucky and stay tuned.
Peace.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a nice time.